Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? I want to talk to you today about alternatives to face-to-face gaming. You know, face-to-face gaming, sitting at the same table is really the optimal thing. It's what I grew up doing. But sometimes, you don't have an option. You just don't live in the same area. Um, recently I reconnected with some people that I played with in a great play-by-post game on Dragon's Foot. Man, from like 2010 to 2012. And we were talking about getting the old band back together, and playing again. And we finally, got together in a messenger chat, and so we, bounced back and forth. Well, what do we want to play, and who wants to, run it, and all that stuff. And so I'm it. So as it turns out, I'm going to run a one shot of Lamentations of the Flame Princess, and maybe we'll hop onto something else afterwards, and maybe one of us will run a campaign. We'll figure out what's going on. But we all live in different states. We've never actually physically met. Um, so, our options are really something like Google Hangouts, which we haven't used together as a group, although every one of us has used it at one time or another, or something like another play-by-post on a forum. I suppose you could play by email too. I haven't done that, but the way the forums work is, pretty good. Pretty navigable in terms of if you want to go back and see what happened. But I want to talk really about my experience was limited, definitely with Hangouts, and you know, my channel is definitely about what do I think? Not so much even just what I think, but it's about me. Okay, my experiences, where I'm at right now. But more than ever, I like to generate some discussion. And in a video like this, I really kind of want to get your experiences, your takes, because it's important. And I think it's a topic worthy of discussion. But also, I kind of want your experience because it's valuable. One of the things for me is there's definitely advantages and drawbacks to any of the various methods you can use. Certainly with something like Hangouts, the allure is, hey, it's in real time. That's great, and so I really dig that. My experience has been playing in Brigade Con with JDRD30, which was cool, but I could see how there's kind of a rhythm you have to get into, which we didn't quite get into, because it was a one shot. Where it's kind of like, okay, when is it my turn to talk? We're not going to talk over each other. What's going on? That sort of thing. I can slow down in some weird spots. So it just takes some getting used to. But you're also just, you're not really there. You're kind of behind the glass. It's like, talking to each other, through a fog to a little bit, um, as compared to sitting at the table. But it's cool. It happens in real time, which is very, very attractive because I like that kind of, fast pace. Now, something like play-by-post is slow. It is slow by nature. Fortunately, the group of people that I played with, they were all very conscientious. They were all very, prompt posters. And when any of us couldn't make it for some reason, or we were going to be, incognito for a while, we let everybody know. This is why, we're kind of shutting down for a little bit. So we weren't looking for somebody wondering where the hell did they go. So that was neat. The other surprising thing as a benefit of playing by post games, which I didn't think about it at the time, but having hindsight, and I was talking to these people yesterday, I guess it was, and then I talked to Runeslinger today, via Messenger, and I mentioned this fact that it's funny, without the actual players there to distract me, the characters themselves became a lot more real to me. I didn't have the people there, making whatever facial expressions they were making, or eating potato chips, or whatever. I didn't have to look at them, didn't see their faces. So consequently, I knew from the description of what they did, what they were doing, what they said, etc. Without any other distractions, I knew exactly what Mare was like. I knew what Valen was like. I knew what Aelithan was like, and what Nori was like, and I even knew what Aprax was like because that was my character. All those names I mentioned in my video about troop style play, those are all real characters played by these people. So it was kind of like a tip of the hat to them. Anyhow, I think one of the drawbacks, other than slow, though, at least for me, is sometimes play-by-post can get a little bit, I'm trying to think of the right word, people get a little bit too descriptive, or it's kind of like reading, little miniature novels. Some people get, overly descriptive, and so it can kind of be a bit much sometimes, and that depends on the people and depends on the group, but I've noticed that. Sometimes that turns me off a little bit. It may be your thing, but for me sometimes that detracts from a bit from the enjoyment of it. So anyhow, those are really kind of my experiences right off the right off the cuff, and so I'm not sure which one we're going to use, and it's probably more of like I don't have a real strong feeling either way, and it's depending on like what people want to do. Might be a little faster to just go do a Hangouts. But I'd like to hear what your experience has been. Sometimes you just can't get together with these people. We're separated by sometimes separated by being on the other side of the world. So what is your preferred method? What are the advantages and drawbacks that you've experienced, and what do you know or have you experienced that I've missed? I'd love to hear from you. Video response, just comment on the video, whatever. That's it. Alternative methods of play. How do you do it?